Still on ClocksForSecondsOut.com here at the O2 Arena with Elliot Worsell, who wrote Making Haye, David Haye's official biography. Elliot, you're a big fight fan, we know that. Massive fight here. How do you think it's going to go on Saturday night?
I think the home crowd is going to have play a big factor in it. Obviously, Kessler knows how to beat Froch as soon as he beat him first time. But I think given that it's in...
Sorry about that.
Given that it's in London this time, I think the home crowd will get behind Carl, and I think that'll be enough to probably see him through on points. I think it'll be another close one though.
And you obviously do some work for Haymaker. We've got George Groves on the undercard there, against maybe somewhat of an unknown opponent, but nevertheless a dangerous opponent.
Yeah, it could be a tough fight. I mean, we saw Ricky Burns face a Latino the other week. Didn't know much about him. He turned out to be a surprise package. This guy could be similar. You know, you can't take them for granted because you know so very little about them. George should have enough class to be able to adapt, you know, to whatever this guy brings, but you don't know when you're going into the unknown. Anything can happen, so we'll see what happens. But George is good enough to solve whatever problems he gets presented with.
In your book, you talked about when you first saw David Haye in those amateur fights in the World Championships in Belfast. Well, he was winning a silver medal. Carl Froch was there on the podium winning a bronze medal. I think the first World Championship medal a British fighter had won. And at that time, we didn't know how either of those two guys' careers were going to go as a pro. And although David turned over with a bit more fanfare, Carl Froch has worked away, and now he's at almost that same level as David. Do you think that's testament to how many hard fights he's had in his career?
I mean, Froch has fought as good a set of competition as anyone in Britain. He's as tough a fighter as I've ever seen. He's got one of the best chins I've ever seen. And I think that's helped him be able to take hard fight after hard fight. Because if you look at his career record, he doesn't have many fights that go short. I mean, a lot of these are against top fighters, but not only that, they go to distance. They're tough, grueling fights. But because he is so durable and because he is so dedicated to his craft, he's able to do that. I mean, in some ways, he's very similar to Bernard Hopkins in terms of his mentality. And I think that equates to a good amount of longevity in your career. And I think that's what's helped him beat so many good guys, back to back. But at the same time, because he's got a good chin, he takes a lot of punches. So, you'd never know when that's going to sort of catch up with you. So I think on Saturday he'll try and be a little bit more cautious than normal, maybe box a little bit more, slug a little less, and I think that could be the key to victory.
And just finally, obviously you're quite close to David. How's his hand healing up? And is there talk that he will still face Char, or is that not decided yet?
All I know is if he stays on schedule in terms of the injury, he'll probably be boxed in September, October time. As to the opponent, it's anyone's guess. Could be Char, could be someone else. I've got no idea.
That's brilliant. Elliot, thanks very much for your time, man. Appreciate it. Cheers.